first time.
Talking about the second time.
All right, everybody, welcome to the table. This is Put It On The Table podcast. To my left, I got Nikki. I got Jason hold it down on the end, and then next to me, I got Foxy Roxy sitting next to me. So we were just chatting it up, and we were talking about different topics. And we said we wanted to bring to the table on a Wednesday, Women's Worth Day, as we dictated it to be on Put It On The Table.
Right.
And so we decided that we want to discuss and have a discussion about navigating relationships or marriages the second time around. What kind of adjustments and stuff you need to make, and how do you be more sensitive to your situation now based upon your experiences that you had before. So Nikki, tell me, how was your adjustment and what adjustments that you had to make coming from them clowns?
So this is actually my third marriage, but I'm going to not include the second marriage because that didn't last but maybe 120 days, if that. So I'll talk about the first marriage. So the first marriage, going into the first marriage, well, I married because I was having a child and we were together but not really together, and we wanted to raise our child together. So we moved in together. We decided literally one day, let's go get married. We go get married. And the thing about my first marriage, it was family first. So even with my daughter, he was a good father. He took care of, my daughter. I didn't have to worry about, getting up in the middle of the night. So that first marriage was more so on a family structure, meaning the kids was the basis of that marriage. Right. So me wanting to have another child back to back, I had my son, same thing. So the way we did things is we did a lot. I'm a quality time type of person. That's one of my love language. So our quality time was spent with the kids more so. Okay. So everything we did together, the kids was always with us. But when we wanted to go out, we kind of individually went out. And that was okay for me because the structure of this marriage, like I said, was family. So as long as we did everything together with the kids, going out by his, if he wanted to go hang out with his boys, if I wanted to go hang out it was no problem because... Okay,
hold up. Let me reel you back in. Because you off course.
No, because I'm about to explain the situation with you.
Yeah, but don't go too far.
Okay, so I'll leave it right there with that part of the quality time. So the difference in my second marriage, I was still kind of used to, well, not my second marriage, my third marriage. At some point when I said I wanted to go out, I was still used to being able to just say, babe, I'm about to go out, and not think nothing of that time with him, because that was just my norm. If I wanted to go and kick it with my girls, I might kick it with my girls. Right. So that was something I had to adjust with this marriage, where before I could leave work and go out, and think nothing of it. But it was more so a topic to really talk about, because our quality time was more so me and him always spent that time together. So I wasn't used to having to really navigate different,
because like you have to ask permission.
And that's what it kind of felt like. Yeah. Almost like I needed to ask permission. Can I go out? I'm going. Who you going?
No.
I'm going out with my. So that's the different dynamics where that came into place from that marriage to this one was, and then it kind of puts you on ease because like you say, you almost thinking, I got to ask for permission. Can I really enjoy myself out with my girls? Is he going to think something different? And then you want to make sure you come in at a decent time, but I'm a drinker. I like to drink. So if I come in feeling a certain kind of way, are you irritated because of how I came in? Right. Because I'm kicking it with my girls, and that's my me time with them, enjoying me. So so that was an adjustment. And then
but let's track back to something you said though, because your quality time is being spent with me. Before, you was kicking it as a married female, like you was single.
No, we did. I wasn't.
Your quality time was spent with you and him and the kids.
But that's how.
And so your other time was spent with you kicking it.
Yeah, me and him would do things together, but not that often.
Right, y'all. Right, you just said it.
Right, and
This-
you know
wait a
why?
minute.
But let me tell you why
Let-
too.
no. You
But
ain't-
let me.
wait a
I gotta
minute.
break it down why.
No,
too.
you ain't.
No,
I'm
I
saying-
do because
no,
we didn't
no.
have a babysitter all the time.
That's
so,
fine, but
Okay, but that you
it's
can't
fine.
say you can't knock how we did it because
No,
that
I'm
was
not
okay
knocking-
for us.
I'm not knocking
Right.
how you did it. What I'm saying,
But I
was,
wasn't going out as a single woman. I was a married
no,
woman.
you was a married woman out kicking it. You
with
just said
my
it yourself.
friends, and some of them were married, so it wasn't like we were just hoochie out trying to find some nigga out there. That wasn't it. It's going out having every time somebody go
This
out.
is-
Don't
y'all
mean,
lucky this Wednesday.
no,
I
every time
swear.
somebody go out, don't mean that they looking for somebody.
Wait a minute,
It's
Eric,
about
I gotta-
enjoying quality time
Yes,
with
Roxy.
your friends.
Yes, Roxy.
It's like, I understand where Nicole coming from. When you out with your girlfriends, and you don't have to assume or act like you're single. You carry yourself as a married woman.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do.
If someone can approach you, usually your girls will be like, no, dude.
And you open your mouth and say
Yeah,
no.
you just
You
say,
out
no,
enjoying
I'm
your
out.
female friends.
Yeah.
So
I'll address. Because I let you talk and
You didn't let me talk.
I
You
let you.
started cutting me
I let
off.
her talk. And,
It's not
yeah, she
digging
dug
a
a hole. She dug a hole.
I didn't dig a hole.
I'm
I didn't
gonna
dig
put
a
the
hole.
I'm gonna put
I
the dirt
told
back
you-
on top of it in a minute. But I let it go ahead
I
and
told you how
go.
my relationship was with my first marriage. That's you said navigating from the first marriage to the second marriage.
And
Yeah.
So
that's how
because
they
of how I
navigate.
did it,
That's
and it
how
worked for us.
them.
Yeah, okay.
that's-
Go.
but-
What you were saying?
But that's how it worked for them.
See you.
My
Okay,
whole,
now what
my
about
whole,
you?
my
What about
whole,
you? Yeah.
oh,
What
my
about
first
you?
marriage was 30 days. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Number one, I'm spoiled. Number two, I'm selfish. And number three, if it didn't go my way, I didn't want to be married no more. My thought of marriage was, honestly, I grew up it was Claire Huxtable and Cliff, and like the Huxtables. That's why I assumed marriage was. It had to have that flow. You had to be lovey-dovey. Everything was fine.
Rainbows and lollipops.
Lollipops and unicorns. My second marriage was that bubble got busted before we said I do.
Yeah, I am not beef Cliff Huxtable.
and it's not. It's like Nicole said, I'm used to being, when I get up or when I get off, or if I decide to come home. I didn't have kids, so I didn't have to worry about it. So when I got off work, call Nicole, Kitty, whatever, where we about to meet, let's go get something to eat. We're about to sit and drink and just have a conversation. I married Jason, and it
we
was
dated.
like,
It started in the dating. We
we were dating, and he was like, babe, no. And I was like, whoa, back up. Seriously, what do you mean no? He was like, we're dating. Did you forget that we're dating? And he would be like, did you ask me that I want to do something? And I was honest. No. Because I didn't think. So, and I really didn't. I can honestly say, I didn't think about it. No, I didn't. This is where I'm at. You know where I am. And it's like Nicole said, when you sitting there with your girls, you're worried. Is he thinking something? Am I gonna be out too late?
So you
Do
really
I
not
have-
even enjoying
you're
your
not,
company.
because I'm used to
I can
rolling.
understand that.
I'm used to rolling in when Skeets close at 2:30, 3 o'clock. I think I tried that one time. It took one time, and it was like
Yeah, that usually do it.
one time. It was not. It wasn't like no. We didn't argue about it. He was like, "That's not acceptable."
I understand it.
Yeah,
So,
we don't do that.
We don't do that. And I had to be like, don't you got some boys to go hang out with? Don't you? And he was like, no, I'm coming. I'm home. You didn't even bother to make sure stuff was.
Because I believe, your previous relationship and then going into a new relationship, no matter who it is, there's a set of standards that one may have that another may not have.
Right.
There's reasons why some men don't care about their women hanging out all night long, and then some men do. Because some men use that as an excuse to do what they doing, You know why? They woman out kicking it. So they get a chance to go fly loose and do it. I'm just keeping it a buck. I put it on the table to keep it real. But you tell me, Jason, you tell me what your experience was.
My first marriage lasted 28 years, and she died, and that opened the door for Miss Roxy. And I'm the kind of guy, when I get off work, I'm coming home. I don't, there ain't nothing out there for me. So if it wasn't church, family, 4 kids, I just wasn't about that life. I mean, if we went out, we went out. It wasn't that I was trying to go out, especially late as I got older. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Right.
As I got older, I was settled. This is it. This is the relationship that I desire. I ain't about going out and doing whatever. Close friends, relatives. That's what it was like. Now with Rox, we had a lot of discussions about, and I brought a lot of my preconceived notions into the relationship because I had been married 28 years. So it was certain things that I was used to.
And you just expected her to kind of fall in. Yeah, and that's the thing. We expect those to fall in line without having that conversation.
Yeah, it didn't work out like that. I had to let Roxy be Roxy. But then still find our common ground.
Exactly.
As to how we gonna navigate through this thing. Especially with 2 teenagers at the time. 2 grown adults and 2 teenagers that was feeling themselves, So here we are. We got to deal with that and try to put that together and get some stabilization and get some order. It was challenging.
Very.
So like, what expectations weren't discussed like beforehand? Did you have did you have talk beforehand to say, look, this is how I am, or you just kind of flowed into it, and then when stuff happened, you addressed it as it happened?
The biggest thing for me was how we were gonna handle money.
Okay.
And who was gonna do what, and how we was gonna, how we was gonna pay bills, and how we was gonna do this, and how we was gonna save for that. Those were my biggest things that I had to adjust to. I was used to handling everything. I paid the bills. I said yay or nay or whatever. Now I relinquish everything. The money going to one account, I don't care. As long as I got a little spending money, I'm good. Just let me know what's what, so I don't go in and,
assume something's there and it's not.
Exactly.
And it's a Maserati sitting in the driveway.
Or BMW.
I think that was the hardest for me because I was not used to not having someone tell me what to do, but I had to adjust myself to someone else because I'm whatever I want. I used to I tell Jason, we say it now, I work every day.
Right.
I should not have to ask, if I want it, I work, I'm going to go get it. Then he'll be like, but we're saving for
This,
X, Y, Z.
Right.
And it's like, and I got a check coming at the end of the month that can take care of X, Y, Z. And he was the type of person would be like, I don't count what's not, I can't, it's not tangible.
Can't touch.
Yeah.
If I don't have it,
I don't care about your overtime. You just work.
Right. Right.
I don't.
'Cause-
So, and that's just like you said, when you have to, I felt like, well, I want to go have breakfast with Kitty or go Taco Tuesday with Nicole. It's not that I'm telling you, I'm just letting you know. Or then when you sitting there, it's like, well, it's 10 o'clock. 10
Yeah, because even our last time we all sat together,
we
we all looking like, we trying to drink.
Hurry up because
We got to get home. And then now we all
So,
effed up because we done drank the margaritas too fast.
we all gotta go home.
but it's the thing about, see, but that's the whole thing. And see, I think that the ideology around it has to change, because it's not that it's a permission thing. It's not that it's a restrictive thing. It's a respect thing. Absolutely. That's where I was going. It's a respect thing. And then some things that we, require or look at as men is different than how y'all look at it. Especially when you're married women and you're hanging out with single women, because single women can do stuff that married women. Hold on. Single women can do things that married women.
Yeah, the guidelines.
The guidelines are different. Their filters are different. Their as they say in stock car racing, their limiters is different. They ain't got no limiters on what they can do. And sometimes they bring that energy into a situation, energy, ideas, and their passions around people who are engaged or in married situation, and it can cause some issues because it's a whole different thought process. It just is. So let me give you my. Oh yeah, I'm gonna let you expound on that.
You digging yourself in that dirt.
But I'm gonna tell you how my situation has. I've pretty much been the same kilter across the board. Like in my first marriage, even though it was a freaking nightmare, it was a nightmare. My first marriage was a freaking nightmare. It was a horror show. So, and I stayed in it way too long under the advice of other people that, I just listened to and trusted and relied upon their, counseling in regards to telling me to stay into the situation, and I shouldn't have stayed. I should have left a long time ago. It would save me a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But nevertheless, my status as how I operate really did not change. I am who I am, functioning from one relationship to another. So my expectations are the same, going from one relationship to the other. So,
and those expectations being.
It depends on what it is. I mean, we could expound on 1,000 and 100.
We were talking about basically going out and stuff like that. So your expectations on going out.
It would be the exact same thing. It's like for me, there's a guideline in regards to, hanging out. I don't think that you as a married woman or Roxy or any married woman for that case, but it depends on people run their household. I can't tell nobody else how to run their household. I'm just telling you how I feel. For me, hanging out with your single female friends to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, so
in any shape,
we're
fashion,
not talking about hanging out with single friends. I go out with Roxy or Shauna, which are married people, and we usually go to lunch or somewhere to eat. You've never heard me say I'm going to a club with them.
I did.
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute. I just gave you an example of what I was saying. I did not say or accuse you of hanging out with them to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in the club. So how do you feel
about just with us? Because these are really the only people that I hang out, and I literally now will tell you days in advance. It's almost like we plan it.
Have to.
It's not like we say that day, oh, you want to go to lunch? Right. No, we literally, okay, Roxy, what day next week? Or we go. So I literally have to now adjust it, and then I tell you days in advance. Okay. Look, me and Roxy or.
But you never had no problem with me with that, so I don't even know why that's a topic.
No, I'm just saying. But this is the topic we were talking about, so that's why.
No, but you brought it up as if it was an instance of a point of contention.
It's not an issue. But the thing is, you brought up saying going out to the club to 2, 3 o'clock.
What I said was I didn't say you. What I said is I believe that any married woman. That's just my point, my opinion. Mm-hmm. But I said I can't tell anybody else how to run their household. But as for me and my house, I think it's unacceptable for my wife to be out, if that was the situation, in a club to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. That's just, that's unacceptable. Okay. That's how I feel about it. So, and that has never changed. That's always been the same. So
I can relate to that, and I understand, because I can go back to how in my household was. Even being single, if you don't own the bar, you don't close the bar. And that's how it was.
And even if you do own the bar, you don't need to close.
Close the bar.
Sometimes you want to count that money, make sure everything right. Because if I own a bar, you best believe I'm walking out.
That's why we ain't bought no bar.
There you go. I'm the last one out the door.
I mean, you have to be, as a married woman, secure in yourself if you have single friends. You should not let your single friends
influence you.
Influence you.
Exactly.
You shouldn't. But it happens.
Right, but you got to know your mate to understand where they allow that to happen.
No. But it shouldn't be.
Understand. No, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Your single friends should understand you're married now.
Because those are the type of friends you will have as that type of person, knowing who you are.
They're gonna know you're married now. There's some things and as Jason's favorite word is, I had to learn, those boundaries. You have to respect those boundaries. And your single friend should be able to respect that boundary.
They should be able to respect it.
But if they're not your
But there's a lot.
friend,
I've seen so many. Listen, I'm telling you, as men, I can get in conversation after conversation with men whose mates, single friends, don't respect the fact that they are a married woman. They don't respect it. It's a total different dynamic. And if a married woman cannot understand, a single woman cannot understand the dynamics under which a married woman would live. And so because they don't have that, their mind is not like that. Heck, even with Nikki, when we first got together, her mind, I'm just keeping it a buck. I put it on the table. Her mindset was still that of a single woman because she had been independent and single for so long. Right. And that's understandable.
You can feel that tug is an undercurrent. I think what helps is getting to know some of those single friends.
And this doesn't even have to do with single friends. It's being a single person. For 10 years, I was single. Yeah. I lived in a house, me taking care of all my bills, paying everything. And the thing is, the different adjustment as far as running a house, for me, even with my first marriage, I organized the house. Okay. I washed the clothes. And it wasn't that he wanted me to. I had things in order, a certain order. That's how I lived. If I didn't, my whole mind was blown. So I made sure I washed the clothes, I cleaned the house and everything because I knew where everything was. So even still, when he got ready to get dressed, guess who picked out his clothes?
Oh, no.
I did.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying.
But not that he wanted me to.
It doesn't matter.
Not that he wanted me to.
But that in itself is so I'm just telling you. I'm gonna let you finish.
The thing is, he would say, "Look, I'm looking for even Eric now. He gets confused if I clean up because he lives out of confused organization. Literally, my closet is color coordinated by different shirts.
And that works for you.
But that's how I was with my first marriage. You were asking me a question of how you come from one marriage to the other. So everything was structured. In the house, even a second marriage, even though it didn't last that long, I knew where everything was. And so other than if they wanted certain things, they had a certain room just for them.
So let me tell you, when me and Jason were dating,
right? And I was do you feel me? No, I'm talking to Jason. Jason feel me. He feel me.
And I would go out to where he lived. I would I'm just like that. I would clean up the stuff, and he'll be like,
because I don't like stuff sitting out.
I don't.
Everything has to be out.
In a
when I got here, he had so many gadgets sitting on the counter. It's like why? Where's the counter space?
Now, you make it seem like our place is my condo was nice.
It was neat.
It was nice, but she still took it upon herself to reorganize.
Yes.
If I'm going to put the garbage, and I know I got the garbage can sitting right here, but when you leave,
it's over here.
Yeah. Better over there.
No. Wait.
Where's my God? You done threw something down. It done hit the floor like, what happened to the garbage can?
I didn't ask for soap dispensers in my bathroom.
But it looks nicer for soap dispensers, and it's cleaner, and it's neater.
But those are the things that I had to get used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and even still in our closet to this day.
His closet. Like, I have organized it, and I look at it now, and I'm like,
just leave it. I know.
I'm getting to the point now.
I won't.
He told me not to wash his clothes. I don't. I don't even touch them.
I'm used to washing my own clothes.
Even with the clothes on a hanger, everything has to be hung a certain way for me.
Oh yes, me too.
Look, if it go on the hanger and it's on the hanger,
I don't care what the word is.
Right, that's OCD like a mug. OCD. Right, right, exactly.
But it's so much easier when you looking for the. You just looking. You the front of the shirt is this way, and the back of the pants is this way. All your jeans is here. All your slacks is here.
You know what I do is it's a blue shirt. Let me grab that blue shirt. Oh, there got my jeans. Grab my jeans off of it. I don't care which way they button. If the button fly facing the left or the right, it don't make a difference. It's all the same. This is not Macy's. This ain't Saks. It ain't got to be facing the same way. We ain't going. Even though some of them like you could go up in the room, it's like she's shopping because you got boxes everywhere.
But then all my shoes are color coordinated.
Yes,
everything is a certain way. That's
we
just
won't talk about.
Right, but that's
a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
We not going there.
But yeah, so coming from that first marriage to this one, I organized the house. So the house was in a certain order. Even the other day, I straightened up his area, and I was tempted
I'm a paper
not
junkie.
to.
Yeah, she shouldn't have.
But I can't. After a while, it literally gives me a headache.
I'm a paper junkie
Clutter
because
gives
I
me
get
a headache.
paper. I have a lot of stuff that I be working because I work from home. So
you
all I
can
say
still
is
have
like when it gets to the point where your nerves is agitated, just tell me, hey, can you straighten that out? And then I'll straighten, because then I know where stuff is.
Exactly.
Because if you, oh my God, it's like if she start moving stuff, it's like I have no clue. Then I'm looking for. I had to call her because I needed a very important piece of paper for work. For some calculations that I needed to do, and she's like, "I put it in there. I put it." I have a photographic memory in regards to, even though what it looks like to you, it may look like a mess, but it's an organized mess in my mind to me.
A mess.
Exactly. It's an organized confusion because that's
like the office.
A mess.
So the office, I just shut the door, and I'm so tired. I go in there and I'll straighten up. I can't find it.
Exactly.
He gets ballistic.
yes.
I be like,
That is the
"Did
most
you look?"
irritating thing.
Today he was looking for the camera battery. It was sitting on the table, and evidently it
wasn't
slid
where
off.
I
Because the thing
put
is,
it.
even if he
My
put it there,
cords was not where I put it.
The cords
My
wasn't there 'cause you
equipment
asked
was
me.
not where I
But it was
put
all
it.
together.
No,
I see we still working.
No, I mean, but back to the original. I'm trying to understand Jason's point of view on things, and I give it because some conversations we have, he'll be like, "You don't even know where I'm coming from," and I was like, "Wait a minute, you didn't give me time or communicate and tell me. Don't expect me to just know it." Mm-hmm. Or when I try to communicate, I'm a backdrop person. I don't get to the point. I'm sorry. I'm not the person to get to the point. I'm going round the merry. I'm gonna give you the merry-go-round, the whole scenario from the 8 o'clock to now.
And all I need is facts.
No, and that frustrates.
That's what men want. Men want the fact. Look, can we, y'all go here and then back here and then come back around and back, and we like here. This is it. Just let me know from here to here. That's all I need.
All I ask is what's for dinner.
So when I went shopping and I went to go get the lettuce and stuff, I ran into car.
Let me tell you something
Girl,
about
that
there.
girl like to talk me to death.
Go
And
straight
then
to the point.
after I left him over there, and then I saw the chicken, I had to go to that aisle. And then I saw this bottle of wine. They had the Reggae Red sitting there over, and so I had to get a bottle of that. What's for dinner?
So
Can you
guess
tell
what?
me what's for
So
dinner?
now I kind of go to the point, and then he want to ask in between, well, why did you do that?
No.
If you would've let me- if you would've let me
No.
tell me.
So now this is the point.
Let's clarify that. If it's only time I ask a question if there's an important fact that's missing. I'm not looking for the fluff. It's like, okay, you went from A to Z, but there was a point in the middle that you didn't explain. So that I need that point. I don't need the other fluff. I don't
But
need
then that's
all that kind of
fluff.
stuff.
That's fluff.
That's not fluff. It's a fact.
I told
Something
you
is a
where I
fact.
went.
But
I went from A to B.
To us, it's not fluff. So now when I want to say something, I've learned, I just need to vent. I need you to
Just
listen.
tell-
I can't vent
Just
to
tell
him
me.
because
Just tell me
I
that's
don't
what
vent
you
to
wanna
him
do.
because he doesn't hear anything I said.
She think I don't hear.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's nothing for me to. It's like
I don't need you to fix it.
Exactly.
I
And
She
don't-
could, I let her rant, but this is what she does.
And then I asked him
See
about
that?
it later. He
No.
don't even
This is
know.
what she does. Did you hear me? I'm sitting right here. I hear
That
you.
don't mean
it just
you
mean I'm.
understood what I said. You might hear my voice.
Yes, that's
talking.
enough. Because you just venting. So I don't need to respond. I'm just.
Sometimes later I need to go back and discuss what we
what we
talked
talked
about.
about.
You don't remember shit I said. Give me
No,
that.
you said you don't need to discuss
You want
it.
some too?
No, you good. So, no, you just said when you need to vent, you need to vent. It ain't about
Sometimes I might want to go back and relate to the topic that I was venting about. And you go, who? What? Who that?
No,
I don't need to. Now it's like I just need to vent. So our biggest thing is, I'm a come in the house, and he be like, you be coming in the house on 100, and I'm like, huh?
Hey, I'd rather talk to somebody.
Find you somebody.
Yep.
I was like, no, I want to talk to you.
Uh-uh.
I don't need you to fix it. I need
That's
you to
that's
listen.
not his gift. So I don't even talk to him about anything that going on in my day.
but she lying because she do talk.
I tell
to me
you
about
a few things, but believe me, as much stuff that going
Oh,
on
yeah,
me,
we
I
can
don't.
Jason, you can
that's
be
too
on the
much.
phone all day.
Because
That's too much.
it's information overload. Because y'all talk about stuff that's stuff. Good stuff. And so
I need to come home and tell you what done happened at the clinic, who done did what, and Jason
They don't want to
be
hear
like,
it.
Why?
That's
is
not
it-
true.
So
They don't want to hear
his
it.
thing is, why is that relevant to me?
He don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear
Not
it.
relevant to me. How does that affect you?
right.
If it affects you, then I'm willing to listen to
Right.
it. But all the other,
Sometimes we just gotta go
I
around the
just
bush
wanna
to
go-
get to.
No,
You gotta
see-
just tell you the details.
No, you
of
don't have to go around the bush.
But that's okay. So that's why we just call each other. So we learn to
Beautiful.
cut y'all out.
Beautiful.
That's why when I say
Do that. That's
Nicole,
fine.
When day we going to, when day we going
Right.
to sit
And that's why we have to go sit and eat because we need to vent.
I didn't say nothing about going to eat for 5. Yeah, go to eat for 5 hours. As long as it ain't 5 hours and it's 2:00 in the morning,
But we
you
don't
good.
never, we don't never do that. We usually
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you, Nicole will tell you. Last time we were sitting there, I was looking at the phone talking about.
right.
wait, is he gonna call?
Yep.
Is he gonna
Is he
call?
gonna
Yep.
call? No, you're not. Well, let me hurry up because
Right.
it's 9 o'clock.
So we ordering pictures because it's happy hour. So we drinking big old pictures down trying to hurry up and get home. Then I'm feeling a certain kind of way. Then he want to act funny because I'm feeling a certain kind of way.
Right.
Because now you been out with your girls drinking all night.
You want to come home?
It's been
and
times
act
you
all
done act like that.
No, when you come home and your ass is damn near falling up the steps, that's a whole different
No, I ain't
situation.
talking about that's when me and you together.
No, nigga. You done came home. You done came home a few times. Like I'm like, oh, nigga.
But that's because I'm rushing
And then
down
want to
my
come,
pictures
then
and
want to lay in the bed like, nigga.
You get that too. You be like, oh.
No.
That's because we done hurried up and guzzled these pictures down and then drive it home.
No.
You want to be like, get off rubbing on me.
Oh no! I'm asleep.
Okay, so yeah, everybody else been giving their point of view. Only thing you gave your point of view was about the one situation about how you expect things to be down the line from this to the other. What do you see different as far as how you act towards with your first marriage than your second marriage? Are you looser? Are you more understanding? Because the age has changed compared to what your first marriage was, and you were dealing with multiple children in the home. So things have kind of changed since the fact of your first marriage compared to your second marriage.
I mean, my first marriage, I got married in my 20s, so I was a completely different person in my 20s than I was in my 30s, 40s, and now in my 50s.
We know that. So tell us, give us details.
Of course, my opinion, if you give me an opportunity.
His question, his answers be so basic.
No, my answers be factual. My answers get to the
Give
point.
us the detail. We want detail.
You want the fluff?
We
You want the
fluff.
fluff.
We want the fluff.
This is the table. This is not the fluff.
This is not the men's table. This is the women's.
This is work.
This is work.
So this is women offering.
I'm rethinking Worth Wednesday, y'all. I'm just like,
We want to know. We understand facts. Give us details, differences.
well, I mean, there's of course the difference between a 20-year-old me and 20-year-old wife, 20-some-year-old wife is going to be completely different than, how old are you?
I ain't even looking at you. So you still not giving us detail.
I'm trying to, there's no detail to really give because there's an enormous amount of differences in a 30-year time span between.
How have you changed?
It's not a.
How have I changed?
I get the difference.
Honestly,
We're talking about the difference
most people that know me know that I've been the same across the board. I'm pretty much, that's how I've been. I'm just built that way.
But you have to act accordingly to the person you're dealing with, regardless.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so when I married Nikki, I had to develop a whole lot of patience.
Thank you. Keep it 100. That's
I know.
all I'm saying.
No, I am. I'm telling you. But I ain't say it on work before, but I've said it on film before.
But
I had
we
to develop.
hear it right now on the
I had to
table.
develop a whole lot of patience dealing with you because you coming out of your situation that you was being the fact that you had been single for so long. You had a lot of bad habits that you had developed, in my opinion.
Right, in your opinion. Go ahead.
No, they was bad habits. I just tried to be nice and say it in my opinion, but they was bad ass habits. So there's some stuff that I had to adjust to, and I had to give you time to, deal with some things.
So my habits that were bad were what?
Oh, whew.
Well, excuse you.
Let me sit first.
I
mean, we put it on the table. I want to know what my bad habits was. Because, you
had let me tell you, you had a bad habit of functioning. You came into the marriage functioning as.
Okay, hold on. Functioning like a single woman. You said that. So what was the things I was doing?
This is what we don't have on the table. What we don't have on the table is interruptions like that. That's what we don't have on the table.
Do we need to get a talk stick?
So what coming into this situation, I had to develop a lot of patience because coming from a single status, even though I was single, coming from a single status, there was a lot of bad habits that she had developed. There was some things. There was a rough patch that she didn't understand what was acceptable and not acceptable. Right. Men calling at different times, inboxing, all that kind of stuff. The approach of men while we out, all that kind of stuff. That was a huge freaking problem. It became a huge problem for me. So there were some things I had to address. We had a lot of issues with that stuff. I'm just making I'll put it on the table.
To the marriage. Go ahead.
No. This was going into our relationship and even going into the marriage. So I had to deal with that stuff with you in regards to telling you how to handle it. You had a very bad habit of being a people pleaser in regards to not wanting to offend people and address stuff directly. So when men were approaching you inappropriately in DMs, that's why we made like the car chronicles and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you're asking for actual. This is what happens when you start.
I want you to get into detail. I like detail.
Yeah, but I'm telling you the details. So these are the things that ended up happening. So most of our issues evolved around men and your ability or inability to deal with it effectively as a married woman, and so that for some reason, like I said, it just felt like you had an issue not wanting to hurt somebody's feelings instead of protecting the marriage. Your marriage becomes the priority and damn everything else.
Okay.
So that was the big adjustment for me, being able to, let her work her way through that and swallow some of my hulkness and not, wanting to freaking go off and really tear some shit up. But
why would you tear stuff up? Because it wasn't like I was responding.
No, when I say tear, there was some situations that you were responding. There was a lot of shit that happened that your memory is fading on.
No, it's not. But in all reality, it was never like I was intending to give. If they asked the question, I would respond to the question.
If I got a gun in my hand and I pull a trigger and I accidentally kill somebody, it doesn't take a fact away, even though it was an accident that I killed somebody. So intentions in some cases doesn't even matter. What does matter is the actions or inability to act at a time that is appropriate for you to act to make sure that a situation doesn't occur.
So being in DMs is a problem. We understood that. So we got that part out the way. So what else?
No, that's what I'm saying. That was the major thing. It was stuff that evolved around other men. It was always stuff that evolved around other men because you had came from a single woman perspective or single woman situation. So it was a difficult situation evidently for you to kind of transition to and understand what the rules and regulations and roles was coming from that to being married.
Okay.
Well, mine was food.
Food.
food,
Oh, I don't cook.
cooking.
Oh.
Cooking.
I don't.
I was used to getting, when I came
Did y'all
home,
discuss that prior to the marriage?
it was an assumption.
So you assumed that she cooked because she was a woman?
Yes.
Not all women cook.
Well, I
So-
found that out.
It's not that. And the crazy part, it's not that I can't cook. You know,
You're just right. She
I
just,
cook.
I mean, I think she had been living
I've been
by
single
herself, so
for-
she ate when she felt like
like
eating.
eating.
Well, I thought that since I was bringing this luggage with me, this package
With the family?
I had
Two kids.
Right.
two teenagers.
So you would just
I'm
assume
assuming
that she's gonna
because-
cook.
And so
Every
we had to have
day.
some dialogue. Yeah,
Every day.
You know,
And they expected a full meal. See, again,
they did because of
That's
what
what
their
they were used to.
mom
their
Yeah.
mom.
had
And
Right.
so did he.
conditioned them.
Yeah, and so right,
So
so that
did he.
expectation was you thought you was gonna get a meal every day.
Exactly, and didn't happen. But we adjusted.
I
Exactly.
work. I
Yes.
come home, we both
Yes,
work.
exactly.
And
that
it was
the thing.
like, I work, you work, I'll cook on Friday, Saturday.
But at least y'all made adjustments to figure
we
out
made
what
the
days.
adjustment. And I, picked up the thing, and I like the barbecue, and we ate a lot of barbecue. We still eat a lot of barbecue.
So one of the things for me was I told Eric when we first got together, I said I don't like to go to bed angry.
okay,
Whatever we
okay.
go to bed with, I want it resolved. If nothing else,
And the subscribers already know that I'm working on that one.
he
I said,
doesn't.
I told
So-
y'all to pray for me. I done told
So
the panel
that-
to pray for me.
that was because regardless of whatever my two ex-husbands did,
Right.
regardless of what the day was, whether they was out
Okay.
with somebody else or not, we
Right.
discussed it. We got over it. By the end of the day, we did not go to bed mad. We might not have slept in the same room,
Okay,
but we
okay.
did not go to bed. So that silence for me,
It's hurtful.
it was something I had to adjust to, because I can go silent for a long time, but I never
can't.
like to. That's not my thing, because once I go silent, then that means you don't value nothing about me. That's just my opinion.
Right.
So when you don't want to talk to me, that means you don't want to have nothing to do with me. So that's my opinion. That's how I felt.
That's
How you interpret it.
That's how I interpret it.
But that's the
Right.
wrong. That's the wrong interpretation.
But that
of
was
it.
just my interpretation, because with my previous marriages, we discussed that and we made it known, regardless of if we gotta look at each other sideways and say, okay, blah blah blah.
Right.
That was it. The next morning, it was, hey, good morning. You want breakfast? Whatever the case may be. So that silence
See, my
thing.
Gemini over here.
That's
does
not-
it.
So the
That's
silence thing is
That's
something
not-
totally
that's not
new for me.
Jason.
I'm like
Jason
more
will-
like you.
Because
I
you're a
will
Cancer, aren't
Yes.
you?
will-
Yeah,
I
we gotta
retreat.
resolve it and be done with it.
No, he will not.
I retreat.
He
See,
will-
I gotta
get over it and be done with it. And then the thing is,
That's
I'm gonna
me.
move on, because regardless of what the situation is, we gotta live for the next day.
That's
Yeah.
what
So
I
I don't want to be upset the next day. But once I've learned this is who he is, I've learned to adapt. So I can go silent.
I can go silent, too, but- and
No,
your-
I only go silent because you go silent.
But
See,
my
I have
silence
not
is
learned that.
for a purpose, and my silence is usually because, and there's a lot of situations that ended up happening, and you have a hard time. You told me this yourself. You have a hard time, one, apologizing, and you have a hard time. You said you don't like rules, so a lot of times my silence comes from a fact of not letting me open my mouth at a time that I'm angry and saying the wrong thing, which I can't take back. So I know the best thing for me to do at that time is not to say nothing at all. So that's why I function like that. And I've explained that 1,000 times. So most people that know me know that's what I do, because there's been situations in my past that weren't pretty that ended up happening because I didn't control my anger.
So that was an adjustment for me. So now I can accept the silence, and I'll just go silent right along with it.
See,
And
I
I'll-
can't. See, my thing is, I'm learning, and it's a lot, because I'm honest. I got a wicked mouth. I will say something, and
Lord
look, I will
Jesus.
say it, and then come back, say what I gotta say, and
And
turn
not
around,
remember it.
and-
Not remember it.
I'm not gonna say that.
Oh God.
But I'll say what I gotta say, and it'll be an hour later, and I'll be coming back. Can I get a kiss?
No.
And he'll be
Right.
like,
Right.
Woman,
No.
I'm still processing what you said.
Right.
like,
We're not about to have none of that right
but
now.
I'm like this. I didn't say what I said. I'm done what
Get
I
over
said.
it, nigga.
Get over-
Right.
that's not life, and that's not how things
I'm like
work.
Nicole. I don't like to go to bed, and we have a saying
So-
over our
so-
bed: "Kiss me goodnight."
Oh no.
Unless
See, I'm
the
the type. I like to touch. So when he know when he goes silent and I don't touch you, then I really don't sleep good because I gotta feel your skin to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So once I done went 2-3 days.
Apologize then, nigga.
I will apologize.
Right. Put that on the table and apologize, nigga. Eat that pride, nigga.
I have no problem with
And it's
saying.
cuffing season.
I have no
Cuffing
problem
season
saying.
over.
I have no problem saying. Excuse me, everybody on the table. I fucked up and said some wrong stuff. I apologize. Jason will look at me
I'm
and
looking
be
at her
like,
like, is that authentic?
Right.
But see, that's the
Are you
thing.
just saying?
Just because we don't say it in a tone that you want us
Right.
to, doesn't mean it's
Right.
not authentic.
That thing
I have
sometimes
a habit of smirking
There's-
and looking a certain way, and it's not
Don't do
because
that.
I'm being sarcastic. That's how I deal with
"That's
stuff.
I am too." And Jason be like, "Oh,
You mean it?
You mean it? You
Right.
working? I don't want to talk about it. Just quit." And I'll be like, "Wait a minute, I'm not.
Because
I'm
there's
processing it."
But how you react and how we react is
It's
totally
two
different.
Yeah, it is
So you
two
can't
totally
expect
different.
somebody
It doesn't-
when
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
apologize to apologize the same tone and the way you
No.
apologize.
This is not it. We're not. I don't.
Don't cuss me out and say something way off the chain and then come back, I'm sorry about what I. Wait, do you even recognize what you did?
Right. Exactly.
How painful that thing was.
Exactly. Because there's
You
some
expect me to
things.
just get over it?
Some things that, and Lo said this on the podcast. There's some things that you could say it to a man that it will never feel the same, based upon what you say, and that
glass.
just because we don't verbally say that.
Exactly.
You can see that in our soul, in our spirit, and how we react and what we do, because there's some words that you can say that you could just we can't recover from.
Can't.
It's no recovery from
But
that.
that's the same.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing with you guys. Y'all will internalize things, and
It's
with
called processing.
no, it's
Exactly.
called internalizing.
No, it's called processing.
because it spills out, and it's not. It's
No, it's
like-
called processing. It really is. It's processing. We have to take something in, then we have to think about it. And I tell people all the time, and I've said it on tape. It's as evidence. Sometimes I have to check myself and see, am I really tripping about this thing?
Exactly.
Before I, before I actually, that's what I'm saying. It ain't about me just saying just not even authentic apology so we can go to bed at night. It's me saying I have to process this thing. Am I tripping about what I said or did or whatever the situation is? So then I can really just come out and say authentically and from my heart,
Right.
this is how I feel about this. This is how I feel about this situation. Without anger, without me being pissed, not to saying that I'm not upset, but at least I'm at a level where I can logically discuss this without being so emotional
Right.
that I say harmful things to somebody that I can't take back and they will never forget.
Right. Makes sense.
I understand that, but I can honestly say my head doesn't process that because I'm like this. If you keep poking that bear, and you keep poking that bear, and you get bit by that bear,
You deserved it.
no, can't say you deserve it. But
You
it's
do.
what
If you
comes
keep
from-
antagonizing, you
it's
deserve
like-
it.
so- I need to understand. So, as married men, do you have issues with your wife having single friends?
It all depends on that single friend.
Exactly.
I
Because
can't say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as I
because
was-
some
when I
single
was
friends is
younger,
hoes.
If you know.
But you got to remember, some single friends have been previously married, and you don't know what they're
Yeah,
married.
But
to.
some are hoes too.
I mean, but that goes for men too,
When I
though.
No, we're not talking about that. She just asked the question,
Right.
When I was younger,
and that was the response.
I was like, no, if you married, all your friends need to be married. But as I've got,
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You saw me look at you like.
at my age now, at 53, I need to know the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, introduce me to him. You
Yeah.
know, let
And
me
that's-
get to know
Once
him.
you know them, because you'll be surprised. You know,
Exactly,
because
you
my
know.
best friend, she's single, but she was married at one point in her life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you got to find out what that temperament of that person is.
Exactly.
So
You
I'm
know what
about
I'm
to
saying?
I'm
So-
about to play devil's advocate and throw the dice, and it's
Go
about
ahead.
to be snake eyes. Do you have an issue with your wife having a male friend?
That's
Not-
a whole nother topic.
That's not
Because
the
you
type-
got male friends.
Exactly, and I know that, and I talked to some of them, and just the other day, one of my ex coworkers called me,
Right.
and we were
so
having
this
a conversation.
happens. This happens on a regular basis. But I've gotten to a point with it.
That's
I'm just
And I
saying.
don't
well,
keep it.
wait a minute. Hold
I
on.
don't keep it a secret. Like when I was talking to him,
Look,
I let him know who I talked to. So that's what I was just saying.
Concerning, as for me, dude, don't
What if
No.
it's a coworker of hers?
listen to me.
I did have a coworker.
Listen to me.
So no
he-
male coworker, no nothing.
I said no male coworker. For what?
He
Go
could be.
find- I understand what he could be doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
We're
see,
not having that.
and that goes back.
That just goes how I feel. Now I don't. Can I have a woman talking to me about what's going on with her husband? No,
Why?
because that ain't my lane.
But you a minister.
I understand that, but it's still not my lane. I need to direct.
But if you
to
discussed it
somebody-
with her and she say she okay with it,
if
would
she
you be
said
able to
she
do
okay,
it? Right, that's the whole
If
point.
she's
If
sitting
no,
right here, then we can have that three-way conversation right now.
okay.
But I'm not going. No, I'm not talking to you behind no boards or whatnot about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not how I'm wired.
Okay.
For me, I know me. I know OJ.
Okay.
OJ will take that. You giving me a way in.
Yeah.
But you know who you are as a person, though.
As I am now.
Right, but we talking about now. I'd
rather not deal with it.
Okay.
I'd rather not deal with it. Now,
And and in all honesty, that's the exact problem that I said the transition was, because it was all these men that were still calling
I'm not doing
that shouldn't have been calling, and some of them were people that had been sexual too.
we not
So
doing
that was
But those been
definitely
completely cut off.
no, but it doesn't matter. I'm saying when we in the beginning, that was, you said we talked about the transition.
One person.
That was a fucking problem. No, it was more than one person.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
We just
But
got-
that was a
I'm
problem.
right.
That kind of transition. That's the kind of stuff
See,
that
my
is a
mind-
definite issue.
my
So we're
mind
talking about
tells me-
today, though.
My mind tells me that and my wife, I love her, but her heart too big. It's too big sometimes to be listening and carrying everybody's burdens
Yeah.
when they're not hers.
Yeah, I got that problem with a lot of
Okay,
my
and then
clients.
you come home and you're tired. No, I know why
'Cause you
you're
men-
tired.
'cause you're mentally drained.
Exactly, and
It is
you
exhausting.
carry somebody else's burden.
Yeah.
Let them find somebody else.
But being the
Let
fact that
them-
she's a caregiver and a nurse.
It doesn't matter. At some
I
point,
understand where
at
it
some
doesn't
point, you
matter,
have.
but because that's the nature of the
That'll
person.
look
It doesn't matter. At some
even
point,
more.
that's what I'm saying. You have
But
to have a
got- that's-
mechanism
but
in
that-
you when you
have to
cut
learn
that
it.
off.
It
And I
doesn't
said the
just
same
happen-
thing with
It
you.
doesn't happen overnight.
And
That's
that's why
something
I'm
that
a
y'all
helper.
right, and that's the thing. You can't expect those type. If you that type of person, you can't expect that to just cut off
I'm
overnight.
I'm not saying cut it off, but I can still speak on it.
Yeah,
and we
and
gonna address
work it and work
we
through
gonna,
it.
Hey,
We gonna work
I
Exactly.
don't think bruh need to be talking to you.
And that's
about
okay.
that.
Sometimes she might need to hear that from you instead of arguing
all
with
I'm
her
saying.
and
I'm
telling
not-
her
I'm not-
right.
oh, I'm not- I don't
because
do that arguing
because
stuff.
her heart is so. When I tell you, Roxy will be there when nobody else will be there. When you call her, and no matter what she doing, she gonna stop what she
the problem
doing.
is, and I'll say this, and I'll say this to.
Guys will take advantage.
Of that
No,
situation,
I'm not just talking-
and I'll say this,
some
and we
women too.
and
Yeah.
some women too. I'll say this: there is one responsibility that you have as a married couple
right.
is secondary.
right.
So
That's
if they
right.
are draining, I don't care who they are, I don't care how much
That's
their
right.
bleeding heart is, and you have to cut it off
Cut it off.
because your responsibility is to protect the marriage. Period.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. So
I think that's the wrap right
That's
there.
it.
that's
how
the
you
wrap.
close it out.
That's the wrap. So
Put it on the table.
I'm tabling this conversation we have gone on. So if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, I wish you would subscribe. We can click the subscribe button, click the bell notification so you would get notified when new podcasts come up. We appreciate you tuning in. Please tune in, comment, ask questions, let me know what you think so I can address even specific topics that you may want to be addressed, even on women's work. I'm readdressing this. Yeah, women. This Women Wednesdays thing. I'm thinking about it. But if it's on Wednesday
Y'all make
or
sure y'all like, subscribe, hit the notification bells, make this thing go live. Right. We need over 1,000 views tonight.
See that? See, this is why I'm reconsidering women's work. But again,
We
thanks
got
for tuning in,
we
y'all.
got wine on Wednesday.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Peace, y'all.